Let's dip in. I'm going to turn my gain up a little bit so you can tell it's getting serious.
I was getting a little spicy in here.
Don't
All on
mind
Graham's end, none
if
on
I
mine.
do. Just a little piquant. Welcome to 100% Worse, the show that gets better every day. I'm Graham Ganol.
And I'm Connor Hughes.
And let's roll the intro.
Your best friends created the best show in the universe. And they took that show and made that show 100% worse.
Presenting Podcast Extravaganza 100% Worse, the show that gets better every day. From real, actual studio.
Two best friends in the universe.
Two best
Friend.
created.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the one.
Best
Yeah.
show in the universe.
Forgot to
That
mention
one.
this is we're doing this
I
show
didn't write the song.
in this universe. Yeah, no, and the thing is, it's a very long song, and the lyrics are so complicated that I would understand if anyone has trouble. I saw a great video on Instagram of somebody singing our theme. That was awesome. I'm gonna get the name wrong. It's Young Something Beef, but it was fantastic. I loved it. What are we talking about today? What are we making better?
Mousetraps.
Mousetraps.
Yeah, let's make a better mousetrap.
Okay, the age-old question. The adage, I guess. Invent or make a better mousetrap, and the world will be a path to your door.
Mm-hmm.
So, as we do, let's just dip right in. Hit me with your number one, not necessarily your best, but your first
My
idea
first?
for making mousetraps better. Yeah, for
Okay.
making a better mousetrap.
The very first thought I had when we talked about mousetraps
Mhm.
was we need to get a thin little ginger French kid. We need to get
Okay.
him to befriend a mice or a mouse. We need to have him put him under his hat
Under his hat,
and become the spokesperson
like
for
a
all
baseball
mice.
cap or
Anything really.
any kind of hat.
Any kind of hat.
Any kind of. Are you doing Ratatouille?
Yeah.
I think the kid is American in Ratatouille, and he
No, he's-
comes to France.
Well,
Am I
what?
wrong?
No, he's not a. Why would he be American?
I'm
takes
pretty
place
sure
in
he's American.
France.
He's like American.
No,
and he like comes to France.
I saw
Isn't
it
that
when
like
it
the whole
came
thing?
and I
about
haven't seen it
Ratatouille?
since. No,
We'll put it on an index card.
if anything, the rat is like from
Well,
somewhere else and just gets washed up into France.
Well, what we'll do is we'll take that idea. We will take that. And we'll put it right here on the fridge, and
Thanks.
we'll keep it there, and we can look at it every day.
Basically, we just need to get just put mice under kids' hats. That's
Yeah.
where they live now.
Hey, you heard it here first, folks. Put mice under kid hats. I'm glad we're not an advice podcast, because otherwise I imagine we need to hire Bob Ball to do a very lengthy disclaimer. Well, I'm not sure if we're lined up here correctly. My better mousetrap idea was make sure the foot is actually set up so it kicks the bucket with the marble every time. Because sometimes you set up the board and then it doesn't. It
Are you
swings.
talking about the game Mousetrap?
Yes. No? Yes. I was.
Okay. I've never played Mousetrap.
Okay, maybe I didn't understand. Okay, so I thought we were talking about the game Mousetrap. That's fine. Let me see if this is. Let me.
I don't know, we just said Mousetrap.
Well, I know. Well, let me see. Well, okay. Let me see if this is correct. If this is kind of more what you were going for. My idea for better mousetrap is to get better mouse wrappers and hook them up with a good producer. Can that be accomplished?
Sure, we can do that.
Okay.
It would give us a better
Okay.
Mousetrap.
Now you're giving me a look. Is that still not
Still not quite what we were trying to
what we
go
were
for.
going for?
No.
Maybe you better hit me with another one. Maybe I'm not getting
Okay.
it.
What if we outfitted cats with lasers?
Okay, so you're
We
suggesting.
adorned cats with lasers. They're already vicious hunters.
Okay, so
We just make it
put
easier for them.
lasers onto cats.
Yes.
What, we mount lasers onto cats like turret style,
Yes.
or just more for accuracy. So they have kind of laser sights.
Both. Laser sights that are followed then by a more deadly laser.
Okay. I do like that idea. My principal concern
Like, have
is
you-
that cats already have a thing with lasers. And I'm
Have you
worried.
seen Jurassic World 2?
uh,
Oh wait, I suppose that's been out
Fallen
super
Kingdom?
recently, so never. I won't go
something with
spoilers there.
cats and lasers. So
Um,
we now know it has something to do with cats and lasers, or possibly Chris Pratt chasing a laser, which I could also see happening. I'm worried. Okay, when I think of cats and lasers, I think a cat with a laser. It's kind of like a home entertainment system for a cat. It's just gonna follow
laser
the
disc?
laser. It's just gonna.
A cat with a
no,
laser disc?
No, I'm saying if it has a laser, it's just gonna follow the laser. Possibly depending on the strength of the laser, potentially incinerating everything in its path.
I suppose you're right.
I mean, I do like the idea, and if you want to give me that idea, I'm gonna put it right here on the fridge.
Oh my
I'm gonna
gosh.
put it right up on the fridge.
Fridge is gonna be so full.
I can look at it every day.
It's gonna be so full.
I'm looking at it right now.
Now, an actual mouse trap, something to
Okay,
trap
okay.
or
So,
contain mice.
An actual trap
yes.
that is going to contain them. That is going to be
Yes.
able to restrain them.
Maybe.
Potentially.
Could be a box.
Could be okay. First, we have to realize that the moose is a very large animal, and that has to be taken into account when we're building a better moose trap. It's strange to me that this would be something we need necessarily in India, and I've not seen many moose. Perhaps in some of the northern states.
It's because a lot of moose
Canada.
traps work really well.
I guess our moose traps. Yeah, our moose traps are already
So we have
working
to give this technology out to
pretty
others.
well. Sorry, did you say moose trap?
Mouse trap.
Mouse.
A little bit smaller.
Okay.
A little bit smaller.
Sorry,
Yep.
I got something in my ear. I don't know. I've been on these pills for like a sinus condition, and I don't know if they're kind of diverting all my sinus problems straight into my ears. That could, or my brain. It could be.
That would be nasty.
I'm no medical doctor. I'm no physicist.
Physician?
Yeah, I did learn how.
Physicist?
I did learn how
I don't
to.
think a physicist would help.
I did learn how to pronounce the word caduceus.
Caduceus?
Yeah.
What does caduceus mean?
Well, it means catechus, which is how I've been saying it for the past all of my years.
Oh, wait, the
Medical staff
Yeah, the
thing.
staff thingy with the
staff
snakes.
of Hermes.
Caduceus?
Caduceus.
Caduceus.
Yeah. It's like something Jack Black would say.
Exactly. It's like, we're like
Alright.
a Dragon Ball character.
All right. Caduceus. I'm holding my eyebrows in place so you can see. That's not really coming across in
I'm
an
thinking
audio
of the
medium, but,
climax to Kung Fu Panda.
Kung Fu Panda,
Yeah.
exactly.
Grabs the what the pinky or something.
Mhm. The whooshy finger hold.
Yeah. The skadoosh. But
Shifu didn't teach you that. Okay.
so take this one for size. An
Okay.
actual mousetrap.
Right.
That's a hamster wheel, but it powers your house. So you catch
Okay.
mice to power your house.
What's the size of this wheel?
5 feet
5 feet. And is
5
that
feet.
diameter, circumference, radius?
diameter.
5 feet diameter. So
Yes.
potentially you could just put a kid in there
Or a whole lot of mice.
or a whole lot. Well, how big? See, normally they
If
have
you
like
have a really bad mice problem.
kind of like spokes, or is it more of a solid like Tony Hawk Pro Skater wheel?
No spokes.
No okay.
No,
So
just
it's-
kind of like a
It's
hamster
like
wheel.
a kind of like a human fall flat contraption where you just get in and start walking. Yeah. The
Yeah.
old razzle dazzle. Yes.
And it powers your house?
You would have to have quite a few mice, I would think, because my initial question was going to be, how big is your house? Maybe a very small
About
house.
5 feet.
Is the wheel inside the house, or is it off
could
to
be.
one side?
Could
Is it
be.
an addition?
Could be off to the side like a wheel mill. Could be
Well, you
underground.
you say could be. I'm not sure that it actually could be in the house.
Well, see, if the diameter is 5
I
feet,
think
then
if
it
it's
would fit
5
perfectly.
feet on 5 feet, it might fit. It's not going to rotate.
It might rotate.
I think it's wedged.
You could get mice in there to rotate it, and it would just rotate your house around. Your house would move.
Please tell me
Like,
the
kind of like a clunky block, like if you've ever seen Gumby.
No, just please tell me the utility of a rotating house.
Can we talk about Gumby for a second?
Gumby, sure.
Gumby, yeah. Do you remember
Okay.
that?
Yeah, I remember
The show Gumby, the movie? With the
Gumby,
blockheads?
Gumbasia.
And like
you
the
ever seen
rock
Gumbasia?
band? His girlfriend?
And Pokey.
What kind of acid? I used to watch it all the time. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Every single time I go to my grandma's house, I
Yep.
would watch this movie. What kind of acid was I on?
You weren't on any. The filmmakers, however, I can tell you. I think some of Gumby is
I'm
just
starting
kind of
to get
like
terrified
normal,
just
like,
remembering it.
normal children's programming. The rest of it is very much kind of feverish.
It's
kind of,
horribly feverish. It's-
Yeah, something if you're maybe a bit like infected by like a tsetse fly, if that's how you say that.
If
you
any
know,
of
in the
you
jungle.
out there don't know what I'm talking about, you need to watch Gumby the movie.
Well,
It's an imperative. You become a better person. You evolve as a human being.
that kind of sounds like you're saying that you become a better person if you just drop some acid, because that's the equivalent of watching
Not quite.
Gumby the movie.
This particular trip.
Okay. We'll go on this trip in this particular favorite rocket ship.
Zooming through the sky.
If we want to trap mice, I think we should focus less on how to trap mice and just what kind of attracts people in general, because I think that's going to work for mice as well. I find that people are generally more willing to hang out if you have alcohol. Happy 21st birthday, by the way.
Thank you.
Can we set out tiny beers for the mice?
Oh, tiny little, like German beers?
Tiny
you
little
know, with the-
tankards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd
Can we
probably
do
work.
that?
Maybe.
Just
Are
a
they
little,
attracted to that?
kind of a little mouse tavern. Set it up. Have little bar stools. Kind of make it a little like little scene from Redwall.
Okay, there it is. I was waiting for you to
Waiting
say
for the
Redwall. I've
Redwall
been waiting
reference.
this entire episode,
Yeah,
actually.
well, if it were a true Redwall reference, it would have about 3-page description of a layer cake and a lot of nautical terminology. We'll just cut that short. But I don't know. I think it could work. Just kind of create a happier atmosphere for the mice. Somewhere where they can just be themselves, hang out, unwind
That's a good idea.
from all their daily mouse activities. Well, what are some mouse activities?
Running,
Running,
squeaking,
squeaking
running from cats,
from cats. Yep.
eating anything,
Corn.
eating
Eating corn.
listening to corn.
Listening to corn. The band
Super
Korn.
popular in the mouse demographic, by
Very
the way.
popular. Yeah.
Uh,
They're not great spellers, so it's sometimes difficult for them to differentiate. They will listen to the food corn and try to eat the band corn, which kind of
which caused the great collapse of 2001 when
true.
the stage fell on a bunch of people because mice had
A
all
lot of
swarmed
mice.
corn.
They were
and
kind
chewed
of
through
nibbling at the
everything.
supports, trying to get to that to the sweet taste of Monkey, the drummer.
Yeah, and that's why they had to take a break for a few years, but then they came back.
That's exactly why. It's good that here on Heat Rocks we're able to kind of discuss these kind of reasons, kind of the behind the music a little bit. In what might be considered the ultimate trap, can we create a small casino for the mice?
Oh.
I think there are not all mice, but some mice with kind of a
Trap them within their own greed.
within their own greed. That's right. Who's more greedy than a mouse? Look at Disneyland. That's run by a mouse. Just a big old money-making corporation churning out profits.
That's a pretty good idea.
Uh,
But then I feel like a lot of mice might be, like sensible, might be
you think maybe
smart.
like the church
I'm
mice
thinking, yeah.
wouldn't necessarily.
I'm thinking maybe they wouldn't go there. So we'd have to do something a little different.
Okay.
What if we offered mice a full-time job? Full benefits,
Uh-huh.
paid time off,
Okay.
Every
What
year-
do you do with your time off as a mouse?
mouse activities, mouse things.
So things we've covered, such as running,
Mhm.
squeaking,
And
running
actually-
from cats, and gambling. I presume now we've introduced gambling to mice.
Yeah, and then whatever Redwall mice
I'm really
did.
starting to feel like
Uh,
like a European colonist, the way that we're kind of corrupting the mouse population with our ways.
But this isn't within the mouse's degree, but it's fine because they got the job anyway. Now, the problem here is that they've stayed too long at this job, and now they have no other career opportunities.
Okay.
They're not building a 401k very fast.
No,
and they're
mouses.
kind of just,
Mouses. I just said.
They're kind
mice
of just
so
stuck
rarely do.
in this job that they don't really like, but they need it.
Grant Barrett, I just want to, if you're out there listening, I want to personally take time to apologize for saying mouses just now. I could not think of the word mice. And you know how it is. You try to apply the correct morpheme, and it doesn't always come out the way that you think it's going to.
Hey, let's talk about our sponsors for a second.
Yes, our sponsor. Who is our sponsor this week?
Our sponsor this week is Velcro.
Velcro.
Yep.
Well, that's a legitimate brand.
No, just the concept.
Oh, okay, the
idea.
concept. All right, the concept. All right, we're safe. What about Velcro can you tell me?
Well, it's sticky.
I'll take 10.
It's good for catching mice.
Good for catching. Explain.
It's sticky.
I'll take 10. What? Now I hate to get in the way of our ringing endorsement of the product, but in what way do mice stick to Velcro? Are mice naturally coated in Velcro?
Yeah. You don't know this? That's why they've got the soft side on them. They're really soft and fuzzy. And you can just take the like hook side, and you kind of go splat.
I just had an idea. Not to cut this ad short, but could we, if you have very small feet, could you put them? Could you wear some mice's shoes and then kind of use Velcro straps instead of laces on it? Because you'd only have to invest in half the Velcro. Well, I guess we're trying to sell more Velcro here, so forget that I said that. That's the main reason you should forget that I said that, is because we're trying to sell more Velcro and not because of the jarring mental image that I've just created. Who's our second sponsor this week?
That's
Drinking straws.
drinking straws.
Let me read off this copy here. Drinking straw. The thing that you think has 2 holes in it, but actually just has 1 long hole that you can look all the way through. Drinking straws.
Now, does it have like an infinite number of holes?
No, it has the 1 hole.
Is it an infinite number of holes, or is there no hole at all?
There's a 1 hole. What about my math is wrong?
If it's a tube, is it really a hole?
A tube has 1 hole.
Yeah, but is it a hole?
Yes.
I need you to define a hole for me. Don't worry, this is helping drinking straws.
Good. Yeah, okay. So you know how sometimes when you take a drink from a straw, it's just kind of a solid stick and nothing happens? You ever have that happen to you? No, because there's a hole. Because there's a hole right there that's what separates a drinking straw from a chopstick. We already did chopsticks.
If you take a paper and you enclose a paper into a tube,
Yep.
the paper doesn't magically grow a hole. It just goes around air.
That's what a hole is. That's how a hole do. If you'd like to buy one of our "That's How a Hole Do" shirts, you can get those on Redbubble. I got some more ideas.
All right. Hit me with them.
We're flirting with the idea of getting mice jobs, and I like that. Could we get them jobs at Disney?
Doing what? Mickey Mouse? Minnie Mouse?
Yeah,
Goofy?
Well, it seems
Pluto?
to me a kind of appropriation
Captain Jack Sparrow?
that we have human
Darth Vader.
Yes, but it seems to me a kind of appropriation that we have human actors portraying all of the mouse roles in Disneyland right now. And I think it's primarily because they're large enough to be seen by children from a distance.
So just get big mice?
We should just get mice. I think
Or a bunch of mice in a suit.
Yeah.
Just cram a bunch of mice in the Mickey Mouse suit.
A lot of mice
Let it,
in the Mickey Mouse.
Stumble around Disneyland for a little
Yeah.
bit and then like fall down and the head pops off and mice everywhere.
It's a little bit Men in Blacky, but yes. Yeah. Yeah, why not? Yeah, basically that. I would say more or less that. Possibly a little less that. That particular breed of nightmare fuel. Could we get them jobs as great detectives?
It's great detectives.
As great mouse detectives?
Oh. How about cowboys? Make them go west?
Could we have them go west? I have
Yeah.
written down here.
Yeah.
Could just going west, is that a job? It used to be.
Yeah,
It used to
it
be a job just
Yeah.
to go west. That used to be nobody. You used to be able to just
That used to be your
travel
life.
in a western. You used to be able to just get on a horse or on a nothing, just walk, and just go towards California. And nobody was like, well, what's your job? What's your day job? That was your day job. You could just go. You could just walking to the left for a while was your career. And now if I do that, it's I guess it's vacation. It's hard to quantify exactly what that is. I think
It's a statement?
it's a well, it's kind
Is
of
it a statement? Well, if you walked all the way
it's
to
just
California,
travel,
would
right?
it be a statement?
Travel's the thing that you do in between things now. It's not a full-time kind of occupation. I guess, to be fair, typically I don't get on a Delta flight and risk dying of dysentery on my way over.
Risk dying from that child crying 3 seats behind you.
Topical. Okay, here are some other things. I know some people tried mousetraps where they try to drown mice.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Oof.
I saw. Well, here's the thing. I saw somebody try to drown a mouse. Another mouse actually pulled him out, was able to resuscitate him,
Aw.
gave him mouse to mouse.
Oh my. Okay. We don't endorse puns here.
I don't know what you're talking about. Puns are our next sponsor. We've already done drinking straws and beef and chopsticks and whatever other Velcro, I guess. Once again, not the brand Velcro, just the idea. You could, if you want to catch a mouse, you could frame one for a felony.
What? You could frame a mouse for a felony?
Yeah, and then the U.S. government will do the rest. G-men and women.
G-force?
Well, does the G-force...
Do we get the G-force to catch the mice?
Now these are
Better
the questions.
mousetrap.
Listen, we kid around here a lot. That's the first legitimately good idea anyone has had since the Great Pyramids.
We need to give hamsters and
Guinea
gerbils
pigs, but go on.
and guinea pigs high-tech
Badges.
rolling ball
We need to
things
get badges
and
on those little guys.
guns, and they're going to go chase down
Did they
the mice.
have guns?
I'm
No
pretty
way
sure
did
they had
have
guns.
Guns in
I'm
G-Force.
fairly certain they had guns.
They don't even have opposable thumbs, do they?
I think they were like head-mounted or something.
Head guns? I think
Yeah,
you're
like
making stuff
like a
up.
helmet.
I
have
think
like a-
you're being
Like
ridiculous.
an AT-AT, like an AT-AT
Okay,
kind of thing that they had going on.
it's entirely possible.
And they shot all the people.
If you do frame a mouse, you
Committed
should make
all
sure.
those murders. All those murders.
Wow. If you do frame a mouse, you should probably make sure that it doesn't have good lawyers. You want to make sure they have like the
Good,
lawyer
yeah.
the lawyer from Arrested Development. That's who they should probably. And then you can go ahead. And then, like I said, the FBI or possibly the G-Force will show up at their door or at their cat door, as the case may be.
It's a good idea. How about the viability of flamethrowers?
Go on.
Flamethrowers.
Are you asking if they're viable as a concept or if we should use them to toast mice?
Well, we were talking about better mousetraps, and you did talk
Yeah.
about drowning mice.
We could.
So I thought maybe the inverse of that would be flamethrower.
We could. I did see mouse flamethrowers. They were popularized and distributed by Elon Musk.
Oh,
Just
Okay,
another
okay.
arrow in your
Okay.
heart.
that was painful.
You know what? My jokes kill on vaudeville when I get in my time machine and go back to the early 1900s. And there's always a guy walking around behind me going, "Well, that's fine," which has always been my dream.
No, okay. A little bit more seriously, we've been trying to make better mousetraps to catch mice because we
Yep.
need mice gone. We need mice out of here. But what is this war on mice? Why are we? Why have we been at war for so long? Someone get our ambassadors down to the king of mice. Get some contracts going. Get some stuff happening. We need to end this.
Okay.
Too much bloodshed.
Is the king of mice, was he in the Nutcracker? I feel that that's likely.
It
But I'm
very
not
well may have been.
super up on my ballets. I know one song from there, The Dance of the Sugar-Free Fairy. I don't think I have
Sugar
that.
plum fairy.
No,
Not
I-
sugar free.
Agree to disagree. I think I might. He said, she said, nobody really remembers
The
those
sugar free fairies have a really, really bad Amazon reviews.
from so long ago. I listened to the Dance of the Sugar-Free Fairy, and I have not left my house in 5 months. I kind of agree. See, because I agree with you. I think we need to make peace with the mice. I think we need to figure out what either a mouse or a human did way back. It's like Timothy Zahn's The Green and the Gray. You know, you got to figure out why.
That's a bit of a pull.
Why these two? You see, everybody knows the Star Wars books, and not everybody knows he writes some killer urban fantasy. But we need to figure out what was done so far back, you know, what created this mouse understanding, and figure out what we can do about it, you know, because all we're going on right now is word of mouse.
You punned mouse and mouth twice in this episode.
Technically 3 times because I said mouse to mouse the first time. Still, it's nice to see you're keeping count.
You're getting a new co-host.
Like I can afford one. I think we should be focusing less on catching the mice and focusing more on what to do with the mice once we have them. Because so far I've just been saving mine, and let me tell you, they are stacking up something fierce.
What? You just like have a box of mice.
Don't be crude. They live in a small apartment near my living chambers. I have chambers apparently, like an old timey Roman emperor.
Well,
somebody gave me the apartment as a mouse warming gift.
why do you hate me? Why do you hate me? I was gonna say, you've already got the mouse traps like behind your fridge and behind your television and stuff, right?
No, but go on.
Well, I mean that's kind of like
I'm sorry.
place where you'd put a mouse trap.
I'm sorry. Yes, I do have those, and my grandfather was eaten by mice, so I have a vengeance against them. Go on.
Wow. Okay. No, I was saying, once you catch them, make them repair your TV or your fridge or something, and then you can let them go.
Yes, and I'm going to have them sew me a dress so that I can go to the ball with my ugly stepsisters.
Is this Cinderella?
Yes,
Why is it
and
Cinderella?
we live in a world where fairy tales are real, and my nose is made out of pineapple.
What is going on right now?
I'm trying to improv. I'm not great at it. I saw Penguin knife fight one time. They were really good, and I don't think that it's for me, honestly. I got just a couple more here before we wrap up.
Okay.
Get a mouse on the inside. Always a possibility. See if you can get a kind of a mouse to turn. Here's a fun one. Play classic Fred Quimby episodes of Tom and Jerry all the time until the mice get overconfident. Then get a cat that has read all the Warriors books.
Now that's solid.
But
That's a very solid idea.
But get rid of all your Redwall books. Especially
yeah, you're gonna have to do that.
especially
Otherwise, they will
Mossflower.
straight up just kill them.
'Cause let me tell you-
cat. They will just
yeah.
murder the cat.
Ending of Mossflower, very cat unfriendly. Let me just say that not every cat in those books is a gingivier. The last option that I have is, we could catch mice. We could try to get along with the mice. The best option to me is one that nobody has considered yet. There's a movie called The Lobster where a future society transform... what?
By who?
Couldn't tell you. It's I believe it's a French film. Could be wrong. Definitely had subtitles. Where there's this kind of futuristic society where if people are unable to find a soulmate or like a romantic partner, then they have a certain amount of time before they go into a machine and are transformed into an animal of their choice. Of course, the main character decides that he would like to be a lobster, but
From my Animorphs knowledge, that's not a good idea.
Lobsters live forever, and they just get bigger all the time. And I think they mate for life. I think that was the other thing.
They're also really gross.
Well, to you, maybe you're gross to a lobster. And if a lobster got the chance, he'd probably like to put some rubber bands on your hands and see how you like it. could we become mice?
Could we become... Oh.
Yes.
Oh, could we become mice?
Mm-hmm. Kind of a...
And then we'd probably kill ourselves on our own designs.
On our own design. Yeah. Hoist.
Casinos and...
Mm-hmm. Hoist by our own petard. No, I think it would just be a really good way to meet more of the mice, kind of get in and break the mice, as it were.
Were you building all of that up?
That's
all
right.
of that up
I wanted
for that?
This entire episode was just so that I could say that.
Such a train wreck. It's horrible.
Speaking of train wrecks, we do this every week here, every Monday on 100% Worse, the show that gets better every day. We did have one quick question from Twitter that I think we can get to. This is from Lissa Lynn, who asks, "Hey boys, does your dream book have anything to say about dreams of not being able to stand asking for a friend ghost emoji?"
Of not being able to stand?
Not being able to stand what?
Okay, S.
Okay, you find.
Sit, stand, something like that. I'm still looking. There's a lot
Can you
of
find
entries.
mice? I think that...
This person has a lot of entries.
I think there's like 10,000.
Standard bearer.
Good. Close enough. What's it say?
Close enough. Okay.
Close enough for this show. Are you kidding me?
Okay. To dream that you are a...
Oh, wait. Sorry. Let me get the... I think we missed a week on the Dictionary of Dreams, so let me just... I'm a little rusty. Let me set the mood. And then.
To dream that you are a standard bearer denotes that your occupation will be pleasant but varied. To see others acting as standard bearers foretells that you will be jealous and envious of some friend.
So there you go. You're going to be jealous of your friends. Thanks so much for listening to 100% Worse, the show that gets better every day.
As Kenny says it, very
As Kenny says
nicely.
it much better than I do. Kenny Childers, who does our opening blurb, killing it, Kenny. If you would like to send us an email with your thoughts or possible topic suggestions, you can always do that. Always do that. Always do that. Always. At hundo@turboteenmovie.com. Or if you're a weenie who likes to play by the rules, you can always send it to 100%worse@gmail.com. That's the number 100, the words percent and worse. Or
You can send us a tweet. Just a question for the Dictionary of Dreams, for a question for us to make it better, just anything really.
or
you can
an enigmatic picture or a meme.
yeah.
Possibly a K-Mac video. We've probably already seen it, but
If it's a K-Mac video, we've already seen it.
We'll rewatch it for sure.
You can send that at 100% worse.
That's the number 100's the words percent and worse. You can also tweet at me at Graham Ganal. That's GRAHAMGANAHL.
And you can also find me at Connor Hugs.
CONNERHUGS. Sorry, I didn't practice yours.
That's fine.
And when you do tweet at the show, it'd be great if you can use at 100% worse and then have that not be the first word, because for whatever reason Twitter decides that those tweets should only be shown to people that already follow us. So if you want to spread the news about the show, definitely say something at 100% worse. You can also use our hashtag 100 worse. That's the number 100 and the word worse. We also appreciate it if you leave us a rating and a review on iTunes. Those really help us to get noticed. So if you like the show and you want other people to hear it, of course, tell other people about it and leave those reviews. Those are probably the number one way, or number two way, or two. Those are the two number one ways. Number one and number two way. You decide which is which, that you can help the show.
Yeah, and once again, thanks for listening.
Thank you so much for listening. I'm Graham Ganal.
I'm Connor Hughes.
This has been 100% Worse.
Eat your pizza right out of your pockets.
Hey.
And they took that show and made that show 100%.